From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the hourly news blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting during his March address to a joint session of Congress, President Donald Trump falsely claimed that the federal government has spent $8 million to make mice transgender. Afterward, CNN reporter Deidre McPhillips noted that between 2021 and 2022, the National Institutes of Health awarded a total of $477,121 to three projects that administered feminizing hormone therapy to animals to research its effects on their immune systems. Trump's claims sent the GOP spiraling so much that viciously anti-trans Representative Nancy Mace, the idiot from South Carolina, has now introduced an actual bill to stop this made-up, goofy research from happening. The Biden administration has spent tens of millions of taxpayer dollars. Notice how the dollar values keep getting higher and higher with each iteration. On federally funded transgender research on mice, she recently wrote on X, we introduced the Trans Mice Act to ensure federal dollars are directed toward real priorities for our country, not wasteful and inhumane experiments. Hold the line. So wait a minute, if we did transgender research on squirrels or chipmunks or other rodents, that would be okay, just not on mice. Is that what you're saying, Nancy? Huh? The bill includes less than a page of text and seeks to ban federal funds from being used for research using any animals to study effects of drugs, hormones, surgery, or other interventions to alter the body of a qualified animal to no longer correspond to the biological sex of such animal. Okay, Nancy, since Trump made up this claim about the millions of federal taxpayer dollars spent on making mice trans, let's take a quick peek at what some of the other insane ideas are held by the leader of the Department of Health and Human Services who oversees the National Institutes of Health. All the following idiotic ideas come from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Speaking at his first official press briefing as the Health and Human Services Secretary, Kennedy in April 2025 claimed without any evidence or further explanation that autistic children will never pay taxes, they'll never hold a job, they'll never play baseball, they'll never write a poem, they'll never go out on a date, many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. What the absolute F? He has repeatedly questioned the safety of the COVID-19 vaccine, made numerous misleading claims about the way vaccines are tested, and even falsely alleged that HIV, the virus that later leads to AIDS if left untreated, originated from a vaccine program. It gets better, folks. Speaking at a rally against mandates in Washington, D.C. in early 2022, Kennedy invoked Hitler and Nazi Germany as he lampooned COVID-19 jab policies in the United States. Well, even in Hitler Germany, you could, cross into Switzerland. You could hide in an attic like Anne Frank did, Kennedy said. I visited in 1962 East Germany with my father and met people who had climbed the wall and escaped, so it was possible. Oh, God, RFK, shut up. After a measles infection killed an unvaccinated child in Texas in February 2025, the then newly confirmed Secretary Kennedy downplayed the seriousness of the ongoing outbreak as not unusual during a cabinet meeting. Measles has a very, very low infection fatality rate, Kennedy said in a lengthy Fox interview shortly thereafter. In July 2023, Kennedy claimed that COVID could have been a bioweapon. COVID is a bioweapon designed to target and disproportionately attack certain races like Caucasians and Black people and spare Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people who he said are the most immune to the oh my, bear with me, folks. Kennedy has repeatedly alleged that exposure to chemicals, endocrine disruptors namely, is causing gender dysphoria in children and contributing to a rise in LGBTQ plus youth. Speaking on a June 2022 episode of his podcast, Kennedy said he wants to pursue just one question on these endocrine disruptors. because we're seeing these impacts that people suspect are very different than in ages past about sexual identification among children and sexual confusion, gender confusion. His comments were based on a study that found one endocrine disruptor, in particular, just one, can cause a very small percentage of male frogs to become female. And by the way, this did not work on Kermit, okay? He tried. He thought he would be a lesbian with Miss Piggy. It didn't work. Though experts say there is no evidence that such chemicals cause gender dysphoria in human children. Kennedy's remarks have been mischaracterized, a spokesperson said to CNN. He was merely suggesting that given copious research on the effects on other vertebrates, this possibility deserves further research. But wait a minute, Nancy Mace just got done saying we can't study these things, and now you're telling us that we should? Could y'all make up your minds? Listen, Nancy, this is just an abbreviated list. You are wasting congressional time by attempting to pass legislation vastly stupider than anything that Marjorie Taylor Greene could possibly conceive, even in her weirdest nightmares. Worse than any sort of ketamine dream that Elon Musk would have, okay? To pass legislation to stop research that no one is doing because it is not rooted in science. Look, folks, neither Nancy Mace nor RFK Jr. have any advanced education or experience in medicine, biology, chemistry, or any other science. Neither RFK Jr. nor Nancy Mace should be entrusted by the public to safeguard or fund medical research. That's the news blast at this hour. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.